Hey guys, so I've had so many people ask me how to dolphin dive or just how to dive in general, and honestly, I found it really hard to explain, so I've been thinking about it and I'm gonna attempt to teach it to y'all. So first, you're probably gonna wanna start on one knee when you're first learning to do this. And so this will be like if you're running at a ball, like say like this, and then this is your last step where you wanna stop and plant before you go dive. And so whatever knee is in front, you kind of brace with and reach up on this toe and then push off. And the first thing that you want to hit with is like your forearm, because you want to avoid hitting any bony parts of your body, whether that's your hip bones, your knees, or like this little wrist bone here. And so you want to focus on curling your wrist up because that'll give the ball lift first of all. So you're gonna extend out past the ball, hit with your forearms, and then with like your torso, belly, chest area, and then lift up this leg, or really both legs. When you do it fast, I just can't do it slow with both legs to avoid hitting your hip bones or your knee. So then you hit with your thigh last. So it's really hard to do slow, but a little bit faster, it'll look like that. Whenever you're doing this full speed, it'll be really hard if you don't have momentum going into it already. So usually if the ball's short, you'll be running at the ball to begin with. And so if you're not doing that, you shouldn't probably be diving in the first place. And so whenever you're running at it, just take your momentum with you into the dive. You can't be scared to dive because if you don't fully commit to the move, you'll end up hurting yourself. So faster altogether, it looks something like that. And so the biggest thing is not being scared to push off with your feet before you go into the dive. Just to reiterate, where you get the push off momentum to go into the dive is A, from when you're running in, and B, from when you use this plant foot to then get on your toe and push off while you kick the other leg up behind you. And then as soon as you push off, you can throw that leg up too. And so the reason you want to throw those legs up is to avoid hitting like your hip bones and your knees, because a lot of volleyball players already have bad knees as is, and so if you hit them, that's not necessarily ideal. And so that's why it's actually safer to dolphin dive as opposed to just flopping. I'm just gonna run through a couple full speed just to kind of show you, probably slow it down so you can get the full version of it. And so that one, I planted with this left leg and kicked off with that one, so now I'm gonna do the other leg. So that's what it looks like full speed. Another one of the big things you need to remember when you're going for this dive is that the dive has a purpose. So you do have to attack the ball whenever you're diving. You wanna be able to contact before you hit the floor if possible. And so usually you'll contact about right there and then follow through. Make sure also when you contact, you pull like your thumbs up to the sky, and so that'll bring the ball up high where your teammates are able to play it. When doing this move, I would recommend having elbow sleeves, especially padded ones are the ones that I prefer. And so I have a couple of my favorites linked on DelaneyMoon.com. Those are some great options, as well as there's plenty of others out there. I hope this has been helpful for anyone who wishes to learn dolphin dive. And so if you have any more questions, feel free to comment. And I'm sorry this is long overdue. It's just like a really hard move to explain because it's really primarily about the commitment to the move, as well as getting the mechanics down, which I hope this video helped you with.